Think you need perfect credit or a massive down payment to buy a home? Think again. Most people wait years before they even ask a lender about pre-qualification and if they're able to buy a home, when in reality, many people qualify way sooner than they think. And some common reasons why people delay talking to a lender about pre-qualification is that you just don't know where to start. You might also think that you need a 20% down payment and you have no clue when you're going to get even close to saving that much. And another really common reason is that you just feel super overwhelmed with this process. And I totally get that. Pre-qualification and buying a home sounds intimidating, especially if you've never done it before. But it's actually one of the most simple and most important steps in the home buying journey. My name's Darren. I'm a licensed mortgage and real estate broker in California, and my channel is dedicated to helping people just like you build wealth through real estate education. And I'm sharing this pre-qualification video because I want to debunk some of those myths about having a 20% down payment. I've helped countless families purchase homes and build equity and wealth with much less than 20% down. And so let's get into what exactly is a pre-qualification with a lender. It's going to be a quick, informal conversation that helps you ballpark and start planning for your home purchase. So a pre-qualification is strictly based on the information that you give to a lender. And it's going to give you an estimate of a monthly payment and a purchase price that you could qualify for. A pre-qualification is not a pre-approval. So a pre-qualification does not require a hard credit check. And so a pre-qualification is like a soft what-if scenario. You're going to talk about your credit score, your monthly income, your monthly debts, and the assets that you have to help you purchase a home. And that mortgage professional is going to use all that information that you share with them, and they're going to come up with a general idea of how much home you could purchase. Now, you might be wondering, what steps do you have to take to do a pre-qualification? The first thing that I mentioned was credit score. So you do need to have a good idea of your credit score. And if you don't know what your credit score is, that's totally fine. You are able to get a free copy of your credit report, and that will give you an idea of what your credit score is. This is going to be an important factor in getting a home loan because the better your credit score is, typically the better rates, and the cost for those rates is going to be cheaper. So credit score is going to be the foundation of you getting a home loan. The higher your credit score is, typically that means you're going to get a better interest rate and a lower cost for that rate. Not only that, depending on your credit score, the higher it is, it will allow you to qualify for different types of loans. So like I mentioned before, if you don't know what your credit score is, I'll drop a link below. I'm not affiliated with them or anything. It's just a free credit report, or you can go direct to the credit bureaus. But yeah, there will be a link below and you can look it up yourself. Now, the next thing after credit that you're going to be discussing in your pre-qualification is income and debts. And lenders look at those numbers on a monthly basis. So what does that mean for you? You will want to know your monthly gross income. So that's what you make before taxes. And then you're going to want to look at your monthly debts that have a balance. So what's considered a debt? That would be a car payment, a personal loan, a student loan, your utilities, your cell phone, your rent. Those would not count against you in this calculation. So lenders use your monthly income and your monthly debts to calculate your debt to income ratio, also known as DTI. And DTI is one of the most important things that lenders will look at because this basically tells them that you are able to pay back the mortgage. And I'm just going to break it down really simply, really quick right here for you. If you want to get into the details of this, I link another video where I break it all down. But just for this video, I'm going to use an example. And in this example, let's say a family takes home $10,000 a month of gross income and they have $4,000 a month in debts every month. That would include their mortgage, their car payment, their student loans, any personal loans, their credit card payments. And let's say that adds up to $4,000 a month. That means their DTI would be at 40%. And why that 40% DTI number is important is because lenders will approve and deny loans based on a max DTI of 50% usually. And that's usually not recommended, but like I mentioned before, I have another video where I break this all down If you want to take a look at it and dive a little bit deeper, links in the description. Now you've made it this far into the video, you have a good idea of what pre-qualification is, kind of how lenders are going to look at your finances in terms of getting approved for a loan. The next steps after that would be, if you are ready, you like the numbers in your pre-qualification, you move to the next step of doing an actual loan application. And the loan application kind of finalizes those numbers. The lender is going to take a look at your documents that you'll need, which would be your last 2 pay stubs, 2 years of W-2s or tax returns, bank statements, your ID. You give them the authorization to do a credit check. So that list that I just shared is just a basic list. Your situation could be different. You could be self-employed. You could be on a 1099 and get paid commissions. Your pay could change from year to year. So it will depend on your scenario. Besides, this is past the pre-qualification, and this would be the next steps anyways. And here are some myths that I want to dispel with pre-qualification and buying a home. The first is that you need a 20% down payment. That is absolutely not true. There are programs that allow you to put 0, 3, 3.5%. You can buy homes with 5%, 10%. It really depends on your specific scenario. And I cannot stress this enough. Don't buy a house just to buy a house, right? Make a smart financial decision for you and your family. Now, with that being said, I'm probably going to get a bunch of comments in here saying, if you can't put 20% down, don't buy a house. You won't be able to keep it. And that is simply just not true. I know multiple families that bought homes using an FHA loan, 3.5% down, and other families that bought homes using 0% down with VA loans. And they are so happy they bought because they built equity over the years. They've had a stable home. Their payment has stayed the same while rent has increased. But overall, long-term, make sure that monthly payment on the mortgage is something that you and your family can handle for the term of the loan. Now, the next myth is that a pre-qualification means approval. That is also not true. A pre-qualification, like I said in the beginning of the video, is like a what-if scenario based on the information you give to that mortgage professional. Now, if you want a guarantee, then you need to go through the full pre-approval process, provide all those documents, and let that mortgage professional look at everything, verify all those documents, verify the numbers, and that way you can move forward with full confidence when you go to buy a home. Another myth that I've been hearing a lot recently is related to student loans. A lot of people think they cannot buy a home when they have student loans. That is also not true. So now that I got all of those myths off my chest, if you want to start the process and do a quick pre-qualification, you can either email me at darren@realdarrenside.com, or you can use a link below. It'll say next steps, and then I'll reach out to you. And just a quick recap of the video, a pre-qualification does not mean any type of commitment. It is the first step in the home buying process. It's an important one. I know you might feel overwhelmed, but it is a simple process. It's just based off the information that you're sharing. And if anything, it'll help you get educated on your credit score and your personal finances. As always, thank you so much for watching my videos, and I hope this video truly helped you.